Hey, we're Josh and Amanda with Den Outdoors. We're in the market for a plot of land to eventually build a tiny home on. We're currently renting in the countryside near Monterey, California.
Renting here has given us big dreams about what owning our own place around here could be like. So today, we're gonna go look at a property nearby, and we're gonna share a bit of our research on what you should be looking out for when buying land of your own. Is this our future home?
Are we gonna live here? But these yellow jackets are no joke. You never know what you'll find. While you're searching online, you definitely want to have a list of non-negotiables. We're pretty open and don't have a ton of restrictions, but for us, our non-negotiables are...
Number 1, must not have any neighbors super close by.
So what? I want to get in my hot tub naked. Sue me.
2, must have a lot of open space and somewhat of a view.
Looking on Zillow, we found a property which seems to check both of those boxes. It's pretty out of our price range, but we're the type of people that go to the $3 million open houses just to poke around and do research. It's kind of a thing we do. This is a 5-acre lot right off of Highway 1 near Carmel, California. It's listed on Zillow as $625,000.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's like so steep.
Super steep, super hilly, super green. Look at the ocean.
Wow, it's right there.
Oh my gosh.
Is this our future home?
Are we gonna live here? All right, we just pulled up to the property and it is not at all what we expected, which is why it's so important to go see properties in person versus just looking at photos online. It is very hilly. We knew it was gonna be hilly, but this is like a level of hilly that we just were not expecting. It's basically a cliff. It's down there. The property it's down there.
That being said, there are a lot of obvious, amazing pros. For one, just take a look at this ocean view.
Look at it.
It's the ocean, and it's right here. And this is where our home would be? That's kind of crazy. The location in general is amazing. The whole surrounding area is just so beautiful. Another pro, it's very private. I mean, there's nobody here, it's just us.
I see no neighbors.
Nobody there, nobody there, nobody there, nobody there, nobody there. It's just us. Another pro is the amount of green space. It's all green.
It's very green. It's almost too green.
We wanted to kind of walk around and get our toes in the dirt and see the land up close, but it's so bushy that it's hard to see it from anywhere but up here on this cliff.
Another pro is the zoning for this land. One of the first considerations to make when buying land is what is that land zoned for? Zoning laws determine any number of things like how many animals you can have on the property, how many buildings you can build, farming regulations, historical protections, and a bunch of other stuff. The land you buy also has to be zoned properly in order to get a loan from the bank. This lot is already zoned for residential, which is definitely a pro.
That was a lot of great pros, but let's talk about the cons, because there are cons. First up, buildability. The land is very hilly, as you can see, and it would require a ton of land prep. I mean, it's gotta be flat, and it's not flat, so we gotta make it flat. And we have to hire experts and potentially spend a ton of extra money to set the property up for building. Or worst case scenario, we find out we can't build at all, which in that case, shit, oops.
Next up is septic and water. There's a ton of water over there in the ocean, but is there water here? No. The listing says no septic, no water. We're not looking to build an off-grid cabin, so we would need to pay to get both of these installed. We'll also have to pay to figure out how deep of a well we might need, and all of this is complicated and pricey. First, we would have to scout for where the leach field, aka the septic drain field, goes.
What about here? Maybe here. I know, we'll put it here.
Then we would have to do a perk test, and you might be wondering what a perk test is.
A percolation test, or perk test, is a test that determines the water absorption rate for soil in preparation of building a septic drain field. We could go into more detail about this, but that's a topic for another video. Yep, looks like it's percolating.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need professionals for this. If the perk test looks good, then we get to pay a hefty fee for the septic system to be installed. Conventional septic system installations are usually around $4,000 to $10,000.
Next up is utilities. Once again, we're not trying to build an off-grid cabin, so we need utilities. And this place doesn't have utilities, it doesn't really have anything set up, so we'd need to pay for somebody to set that up for us. We'd also need to pay to have somebody validate the length to run electrical services. Utility hookups can range anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, so not cheap.
Okay, next con is the driveway, but also the bug situation. We just walked around the lower end of the property. We just encountered about 1 million yellow jackets. They're still kind of flying around, so we're gonna make this quick. The driveway. There isn't really a driveway. There is a shared access road, as you see here. This is not necessarily a con, but this means that we'd have to make friends with the neighbor down the way and share decision-making power with them on all things related to the driveway access road thing. But we'd also be sharing costs for maintenance with them, which means that we would be splitting it, which is kind of a pro. If we wanted to get our own additional driveway installed in addition to the access road, these are super pricey. Most residential zoning laws have a bunch of stipulations around driveways, including they have to be wide enough for fire trucks to access your home. Most driveway installations range from $2 to $15 per square foot.
One of the cool things about using Den for your building plan is that you can place a 3D augmented reality model of one of their plans in the environment around you. Now, I would do that right here and now on this property, but my phone doesn't have any reception, so I can't load the 3D model. So this is what that looks like on our property back at home in a field in front of our cottage. Speaking of coverage, not having any kind of cell reception might be a con to some people, but for us, we don't have any reception back at home right now, and we get by just fine with Wi-Fi, but it's something to consider.
This property seems to come with a few extras, like a random concrete slab, a crappy pile of wood, and a broken ladder. So you never know what you'll find. Okay, we've given ourselves lots to think about, and I think we've decided
We'll
we're
take
gonna
it.
pass. Clearly, we have a lot to talk about on the way home. As a recap, these are the additional costs we would need to pay in order to prep this property for our future home. This list is by no means fully comprehensive either. With all of these additional costs added on, it inflates the price way beyond our budget.
Yeah, even though that property didn't seem like the right fit for us, going out and actually stepping foot on different properties is a very worthwhile endeavor. You can learn so much more from actually being there than just looking at photos online.
There's so much more that goes into buying land than what we covered in this overview video. So if you have a specific question that you want to see us answer in a future video, or if you want to weigh in on where you think we should build our tiny home, let us know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.